Hey everybody, welcome to the Random Game on Shrinking. If you're new to this channel, one of the things I like to do is to open up old video games and see what's inside for posterity and also just to get a good flavor for the folks reviewing the channel of what used to come with these old games. Now, usually I open PC games, or more often PC games, but today I have a console game. It's Food Fight for the Atari 7800, which I'll open in a second. But if that sort of thing interests you, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the notification button so you can be notified when there's more videos like this, because I tend to do these pretty often. So, as I mentioned, I have today here Food Fight for the Atari 7800. Now, interesting thing about this game, first of all, it came out in the arcades originally in 1983, and it was only really ported for the home consoles of the 7800, and this port didn't come out until 86 or 87, because the 7800, as many people will know, was delayed because Atari was sold and they released the console. They shelved it for a while, and they finally released it a few years later. At that point, it was pretty much too late already to compete with Nintendo. I mean, it could have done a hell of a lot better if it was released a few years earlier. But Food Fight is a game that was, pretty popular in the arcade and was not released really for any other platform. So I'm glad to have it here for the 7800. Now, this is almost certainly a reshrink, and I like to identify those when I see those, in the wild. You can sort of tell, I can tell because the shrink wrap is very, unflexible, and you can sort of see here, for example, on this corner here piece, it's like a piece that's, sticking out, it's, hard. Also, the shrink wrap is split in a couple places, here in the back, you can see it's split. That doesn't mean that it's not original, but when you touch it, you can just sort of see it's brittle around those splits. And here, again, on the side over here, this is the type of thing you'd see for a reshrink. Now, I don't know, when this was reshrunk, if it was reshrunk, back in 1986 by somebody, basically a dealer at that time, a seller of video games, or if it was much more recent. But regardless, I wanted to buy this copy because for these 7800 games, it's hard to find copies that are explicitly say they're for the NTSC television sets in North America. Like you see, it says over here. I've seen some copies that don't say anything, and I think those are PAL copies, but I'm not sure, and I wanted to get, a copy that'll work here in the U.S. with a real 7800. And then also this was re-released. So this one here says on it it's copyright 1987, and there are some copies of this that say copyright 1988. Apparently it was re-released a year or two later. So this is, it's not that easy to find a copy that both actually says on it it's an NTSC copy and it says copyright 1987. So I assume this is one of the original released copies, and I believe this is a launch title for the 7800. So I don't really care the fact that it was rewrapped. I just wanted to get a good copy. But since it's rewrapped, I really have no idea what's inside, and I'm going to open it up now and find out what might be in there. So without further ado, let's open it up and see what's inside. Usually I use a knife, but because we have this nice hole here, I should be able to stick my finger in and just tear it open. And again, usually with the shrink wrap on a box, I would try to just open it on the top and leave the shrink wrap on if it's a real original shrink. But given that this isn't, there's no point in actually doing that. And by the way, if you haven't played this game before, you can see on the back there's a nice screenshot. And also it says here, it's every school kid's dream come true, every chef's nightmare. Hurl mounds and mounds of fabulous food at snippy, disgruntled chefs. If you ward them off, you'll be rewarded with a free giant ice cream cone. But if you miss, look out for all the flying food. So that's Food Fight, as you can see on the cover. Let's open it up. Come on. There we go. I'm really curious what's in here. It could be the game. It could be drugs. I mean, I doubt someone would reseal their drugs inside here, but who knows. All right, so the box is a little bent also, as you can see here, a little crushed, but not too badly, and I don't really care too much. I can fix that. It's all about the game. The quality of this cardboard is not very high. Whoops. It's hard to get it open. At least I didn't knock over my camera like I usually do. All right, so we got here the cartridge with a P on it. Don't know what that means. But it says copyright 1987, and I believe the re-release copies say on them copyright 1988. But I'm not sure about that. I don't know if you could see copyright 1987 there. I believe that's the case, though. But I'm not sure. And then we have a manual. And that is basically it, as you would expect from these, console titles. Oh, interesting. There's two manuals here. One of them is in English. It actually has a color thing there. And one of them is in German, apparently, which scares me a little bit because then you might think maybe it's a PAL copy. This is really strange, actually. So, okay, so let's look at this. So I have this this English manual, and it's very short, as usually these are. And on the back here, it says it's copyright 1987, printed in Hong Kong, revision B. And I think there was only revision B and revision C. I think revision B might be the earlier one. But then this one here is in German, as I said before. And this one says on it copyright 1989. If you can see that at the bottom. So clearly, this was not, you know, they didn't sell this U.S. copy with this German manual inside. And even if this is an earliest release game from 1987, I mean, the fact that it has a manual from 1989 either proves that it's not the earliest release, or more likely, like I said, it was reshrunk, and somehow this got in here. I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't belong in here. But I will ask one of my smarter console collector friends to give some input on that, and we'll see what we see. But anyway, let's try to get some gameplay footage up and see what this game looks like. Okay, so right after I showed this video, I realized that the P on the back of this cartridge has to be PAL, and then sure enough, I tried it, and I think it doesn't really work, and I got very frustrated, and I'm like, what the heck, because I purposely bought this game because on the box it says it's for NTSC television sets, and the game itself apparently is a PAL game, and like, seriously, what the heck? So, okay, what did I do? I got another copy of the game. Now, this one here is also sealed, so we're going to double unboxing or unshrinking tape, whatever you want to call it, but it's different. Okay, first of all, I thought originally that this one was an early release, the earliest release, because it says here copyright 1987, and I've seen one say copyright 1988. Well, this one here actually says copyright 1986 on it, and it also has this thing about NTSC television sets, and interestingly enough, the box actually opens completely differently. This one here opens like this, where it's like fold in, and it was shrink wrapped as you saw. This one here, it's actually glued shut on the top, and you can see a little bit here, like the top is lifted off a little bit, and you can see some of the glue residue if you can get the right angle on it. I'm not sure if I can display it for you, but I'm trying to there. And so the box basically is completely differently packaged. And this one probably, like, you know, it looked like it was resealed. I'm assuming it was sealed by the dealer because it didn't come sealed originally from the factory. This one looks like it came sealed with glue. Anyway, I'm really hoping this one actually has an NTSC cart in it. Second time's a charm, maybe. It does say it on the back. This one's copyright 1986. So let's see, you know, what's actually inside when I open this thing up. And I'm not sure how I'm going to get it open because of the glue. I have my knife here. I'll try with the knife to slice it open. But I feel like this is a disaster waiting to happen. There's probably like no good way to get this open without just tearing it. Or maybe like using Glubigon or Glubigon, whatever it's called. But that would probably take forever. But I think I'm getting it here. I think I'm prying it open. Sorry if it's not completely on camera, but I'm doing the best I can with this stupid thing. Now, the question is, what will be in here? Will I actually get the game that I'm trying to get? Might be enough to... There's a tab in there to like tuck it in. If I can actually open it without killing it, there will be a way to close it properly afterwards. That would sure be nice. So I'm trying to make that happen very much, and I'm sorry about getting us to the very edge of the video, but there's really no other way to do this. My first priority has to be my life. It really means not cutting my whole hand open, which is a distinct possibility given how inept I am with these things. All right, we got it open now, sort of. I mean, I did cut it a little bit, but I did the best I could. All right, what's inside here? We got a cart. All right, there's no P sticker on the back, but it may just fell off. All right, cool. Now, another thing here interesting is that this one also on the cart itself says copyright 1986, Whereas this one, the PAL cartridge has copyright 1987. So again, I was fooled to thinking that this was the earliest release, and clearly I was wrong. I should have asked a more knowledgeable Atari 7800 collector, but this looks like the real deal. So I'm hoping this is actually going to work. Let's see what else is inside. Let's not mix these up, although they do have different dates. Come on. So this one, is that it? Yeah, that's it. So it has a 90-day warranty, which is cool. A little dirty, but that's all right. And then there's a manual. And this one, let's see. So this one also says copyright 1986 on the back. And let's just open up the other one here just to refresh our memory. So this one, oh, this is the German one. Whoops. Where's the other one? Okay, so this one had also copyright 1987 on the back. So even the manuals are different. This is also printed in Hong Kong. This is printed in Taiwan. Clearly, I got a different copy of the game. So I'm really hoping now that this one, this new one here, which is copyright 1986 and is not on a PAL sticker, is an NTSC game. And hopefully I'll find that out very shortly and show it to you.
All right, so this is Food Fight. It's actually working. And, wow, it's pretty loud. So, if you haven't played this game before, it's pretty simple. You throw these pies and stuff and other food at the chefs. The name suggests Food Fight. And then you eat the cone at the end. So the PAL version of the game ended up not really working. I couldn't get it to work properly. It was indeed a PAL version, the one with the P on it, like I should have figured out from the beginning. But this, oops, that fell in the hole. But this NTSC version works completely fine, as you can see here, and it's all good. So I suck at it, but but it's all good. So I'm quite happy that at the end of the day I got a cart that works, and it looks like a proper version too. Like actually, the original. What I was going for originally was like an early version of the game. It looks like I actually found that. And if you haven't played this before, this is a fun game, pretty underrated. I don't think a lot of people necessarily have played this in the arcade because it was, I mean, I don't know, it was, I think, overshadowed by some other games like, you know, Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool concept, and definitely not that easy. Although, like I said, I pretty much suck at it. And but yeah, it's a fun game, and you can play for quite a while, and it's like not something that you get bored of too easily. And I plan to do a video pretty soon where I show like how to get these Atari 7800 carts running on a PC, an emulator with the right joystick and everything else, actually off the cartridge. So hopefully that will be coming soon. But in the meantime, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments for me on what I discovered in this whole thing, because this is very confusing, I must admit. If you have any comments in terms of, you know, how these packaging works and why it says NTSC on the box and it's really not, and was that a reshrink that I got and that's why that happened, which I sort of doubt. I tend to think that it wasn't, and just that they marked the boxes incorrectly, but I'm really confused actually at this point. So if you understand what's going on, if you have any insight into this, or if you just want to put some comments about the game itself, if you like the game, or have any other, you know, memories of the game, or if you own the game, please let me know in the comment section. And if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications button so you can be notified when there are additional videos, because I plan to do a whole lot more like this. And thanks very much, and have a great day, everybody.